my mom brought me, honey, I'm recording. Oh. Shh. So my mom brought me. Color, but that will probably look a lot better on camera. All right, so I think that looks a whole lot better because the other light bulbs were, well, they look white, but the light they put off was pretty yellow, so it just did not look very good during my live sales. And now, hopefully it will. Here's the gist of everything outside of the extension cord. That's for plugging in my phone. But here's the gist of everything. A little bit of everything anyway. I'll be including some of the stuff I've listed recently on Niknax and eBay as well. And some of that stuff is in this box down here. And then I have this tote full of randomness that I'm not even gonna pull anything out of right now. We'll go over it, I guess, during the live sale. It's just extras of stuff that I had at my booth. And so, I mean, I honestly figured probably everything in here, we would start at $1 and see what happens with it. We might just get a little wild and crazy. So anyways, yeah, my next live sale is tomorrow. It's Wednesday, the 24th at 7 p.m. So the link will be in the description. Feel free to come on over. If you've never been on Whatnot, check out, there's another link in my description to get yourself a free credit. I think it's a $15 credit. So, you know, definitely go check it out. You can just come hang out for the chit chat. It's always a good time. Sometimes my dog adds into the chit chat, so you never know. But it's always fun. Come hang out tomorrow night, Wednesday, 24th at 7 p.m. on Whatnot. Sure is bright. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I wanted to tell you guys that I've been thinking some thoughts on my room arrangement setup, and honestly, even about down in the dining room where I do my live sales. So, you know, everything up here is carefully placed and everything, so it won't get, hopefully, injured while it's waiting for its new home. But as you can tell, it's kind of, well, there's not a ton of space. We have another guest room. The light switch is like ridiculously far back from the wall. Ew. And look, like, we'll definitely have to do something about the lighting in here, but we have our spare bed in here, and a lot of this stuff, a good portion of it anyway, is listed or was listed on Facebook Marketplace. But I went through the other day and I deleted all those listings, so I'll be getting stuff, you know, uploaded on Niknax and eBay shortly. But like, oh, like this, I just listed this little gal. I was going to show this to you guys. Let me set it on the floor. So this is what they would call a shaker box, or in the style of a shaker box. This one is not old. These, you can find very antique ones, but they're typically, you know, they may have some primitive painting and stuff on them, but they're not going to be like this. Like this is a, I mean, I hate to call it a hobbyist piece because it's such an amazing job on the painting, but more or less still, you know, a hobbyist piece. And, you know, they're made as decoration and stuff, as to where back in the day, shaker boxes would be used to, you know, for storage, cheese wheels and things like that even. So they would be pantry storage. And, but this one in here, like you can tell on the bottom, this is a more, I don't know what this is called. It's sort of a particle board kind of thing, I guess. And then this here is just sort of thin wood that's bent, and then they latch it with these little, oh, I can't think of what those are called. Darn it. If somebody can think of it, please put it in the comments. I can't think of what this is called off the top of my head, but they're like little buttons that secure it, and then the lid is done in the same fashion here, you know. But little Amish doll. What a great job. And there's no signature on here either. Like that's entirely hand painted. What a cool piece. I think I listed it for like $48. I really wasn't sure kind of where to list it. Maybe I listed it too low. I don't know. I felt like the painting on it was done really, really well. And it would look really good in someone's, you know, like decor, if they have like the primitive folk art sort of style. But anyway, I listed that. I don't have the fishy guy listed just yet. I'm going to be doing him. I've been listing like crazy the last 2 days. I hadn't been listing as much as I was. I normally was listing like 10 or 20 things a day minimum. Rarely did I ever have a day that I did less than that. And so it seems like, oops-a-daisy. It seems like over the last few weeks or so, especially since it's been so dang cold out, I just haven't been listing as hard. That, and then I've also taken on, you know, Niknax and Whatnot and trying to figure those out, and trying to kind of figure out schedule wise and all that stuff between making videos and trying to get those uploaded in time. You know, it's a lot. It is a lot. It's a lot to get used to, but I'm getting there. I'm starting to kind of, I think anyway, get some sort of a swing down. This is a really cool pottery jar. I had it listed on Facebook for quite a while. It's hand done. It's not, I can't remember the name of that pottery, Sedona pottery. But anyway, it's hand done and it's really cool. It is very, very heavy. It's very heavy. If I had to guess, I want to say it's maybe 3 pounds, you know, give or take. But it's really cool. Cool little jar. So I'll get some new photos of that done and get it listed. I have some other like patriotic stuff here. You know, bean pot, some old Fire King. Good condition though on them. And this one here, same thing, pretty good condition. Very minimal wear. And then I have lots of, you know, Corel and things like that. And these are currently on eBay, I think. And, you know, more Fire King, good condition. I love these ones. They are so cool looking. They're that, not cold painted. They're more, I guess you could call it flashed, but painted where you definitely don't want to put these in the dishwasher. Most of the time you find these and they're pretty worn, sort of this in the same way as the Pyrex designs will come off. Sort of the same thing, but they're Fire King, little cereal bowls. But I love how they do the, not amberina technically, but it's like a fade, like red to orange on them. I think I've got 3 of those, and then I've got 2 or 3 white ones there. And so, yeah, got a little bit of this and that. These here are Homer Laughlin. They're like little carafes, little soup carafes. Little set, little tray, and set up here. Some old Heinz stoneware. I think these guys are on my eBay. They are Heinz, made by Western stoneware bowls. Nice little crock bowls though, no crazing, no issue on them. And these are Buffalo China here. These are made in Japan, and I can't remember what this one is. Rosalie number 4070, the Limoges China Company, USA. The Trick Limoges. So anyway, I guess back to what I was originally talking about. I'm thinking about doing like a room swap, like moving the bed and stuff into the other room, and then bringing my whole listed inventory and stuff in here. The other crazy thought going on in my head is, well, I'll have that curio cabinet from my antique booth here in the next few days. So I plan on bringing that up in here. And then I may possibly bring the china cabinet up from the dining room also and bring in here, and then have those as shelves with things set up on them for my Whatnot sales. So I'm contemplating doing that. It sounds amazing. It sounds like I can see it in my head, but it also, it sounds like a lot of work. Like that's probably going to be, you know, a full day or two of just more or less moving things around. I mean, because I've got a lot of things in here, and they're breakable. So you can't just like toss it all in a box. Maybe we'll just keep it in the dining room. I don't know. I tend to leave the Whatnot stuff sitting out down there, and I just hate for Theodore to knock it over. But I suppose I also don't really put like my super, at least not generally, and I probably wouldn't leave it out down there, anything expensive. Something I'm thinking about doing. Maybe I've just lost my mind. My mom brought me, honey, I'm recording. Shh. So my mom brought me a bunch of packing stuff here, and this has some kind of foam in it, but look at these big foam blocks and more air pillows, and I can always use air pillows. These foam things are heavy, thick foam, but you know, if you have something delicate enough, it'll be worth the added weight to have it in there. So I love it, Ma. Thank you. Okay, so now that we've changed out the light bulbs in the dining room, I thought I would show you guys a few other pieces here. One is this blue vase, and I think this is, you know, likely a florist piece or something. It's embossed with USA on the bottom there, but there's no cracks, there's no chips, there's no damage to it. You know, it'd be nice if it was red for Valentine's Day, but it's still a cool looking vase. Like, I like the body of it. It's kind of that sort of inverted rib all the way around. I think it's pretty neat. And I want to say it was right around 11 or so inches tall, 10 and a half, 11 inches tall. And then this dude here, oh, I could be wrong, but I thought he was Viking, but I could be wrong. I haven't stopped to look him up yet, I'll be honest. If you guys know off the top of your head, drop it in the comments. But I don't know why. Maybe it's just the way the feet are on here, making me think of Viking. But it's not signed or marked. There's no chips or cracks or damage to it. So it's this clear cased over this green here. But in good shape, cool vase. You know, I was kind of thinking it might be a little springtimey, too springtime color, considering how drab and dark it is outside right now, but oh well, whatever, right? So then here's some studio art pottery pieces. This one, I guess I'll still say it's studio art pottery. Yeah, it's signed. I'm not 100% sure what that says. It looks like AUHUCHON to me, but I'm not positive on that. Anyway, it's kind of a sort of salt glaze. I'm not entirely sure that it's real salt glaze because it's not terribly pitted like salt glaze is, but it's a hand-thrown piece. And then this cracking on the bottom is like fire cracking. There's no cracking or damage on the inside, so. And you can see how the lid did the same thing. Maybe a newer potter that was still learning correct temperatures to fire things at. I mean, sometimes that stuff just happens too. So, but then there's pieces like this where this is like a little, I would say sort of abstract leaf design. It is salt glazed, at least on that side. And then this side's kind of an abstract sort of leaf design with these twisted rope applied handles, sort of an octagonal one. And I don't know what that says. Does that say Laura? I'm not sure. If you guys know, please drop in the comments. I have these listed on, I have this piece, and this piece on eBay, and I just uploaded these 3 onto Niknax. I'm getting ready to list the popcorn guy here. This piece is probably my favorite out of all of these because of the glaze on it. Because it's like that, you know, sort of glass looking salt glaze. You can see it's sort of pitted on there. And it's also signed. But again, I'm not sure. I was able to finally figure out that this is an I, an E, and an R. And I figured this was an S, L, S, but I'm not sure. Maybe that's actually a G? I don't know. I don't know what it says. Again, any help would be wonderful if anybody knows. This one here is actually really cool too. And it's got this like neat design, reticulated edge on it. It's got these little like ball bunt feet on there, and it's signed by the artist as well. Grab it this way. Sandy. I don't know who Sandy is, but she made a pretty nice bowl. Nice bowl there. I don't know. And I like this sort of like cranberry added glazed detail with the white. It just kind of makes it pop. What else did I list? Oh, there's other stuff I listed that I was going to show you guys, but I've already kind of wrapped it up and I carried it upstairs. And a little bit of it I plan on putting in my Whatnot sale, or at least adding in there for it. And so I just kind of set it in the dining room, and I figured I would just unwrap it again during the sale. So you can go on my eBay or Niknax and kind of look at my most recently posted things and get an idea of what some of those are. Or you can just come to the sale and find out then. So I've had a few of you guys asking me, you know, how's sales and stuff on Niknax going, and I thought I would go ahead and let you guys know and show you the few sales that I've made. I've made a total of 4. 2 items were bought by 1 customer, so technically a total of 3 sales so far. However, keep in mind that I did not start really beefing up my inventory in Niknax until just the last few days. So I had like at max anywhere between 10 and 20 items in there for, I don't know, the first 3 or 4 weeks. And now it's up there. It's getting up there. It's a couple pages or so worth now. And I want to say there's 50 items on each page. So it's getting up there. I tried out running a couple items on auction, and they did sell. In comparison to auctions on eBay, a lot of the times my items, because I put those same items for auction on eBay, and they didn't even get a view, or maybe they'd get a couple views and that's it. You know, I can't say that they at least seem to sell via auction on Niknax. Overall, I've been really happy with it. I like the platform. You know, like I said in my last video, I'm anxious for them to come out with the Android app. But outside of that, I don't have any complaints. Shipping is pretty straightforward, especially if you already sell on eBay. It shouldn't really be of any sort of confusion. Whatnot is a little bit of a different beast. And basically with Whatnot, like their default is like a 12 by 12 by 12 box and up to, you know, 5 pounds. And then they'll switch over from the ground advantage shipping to regular priority mail. Basically, they look at it like a 12 by 12 by 12 box, and usually they will assume you can fit up to 5 pounds in per box or per that box. And so when you're loading your items on there, you know, at first I was loading them in as including packaging, but I don't want to say that they account for that, but they sort of do. I would, you know, like if you have an item that weighs 1 pound and would normally, you know, with the box and the packing material, bring it up to close to 2 pounds, I would still put it in for at least the 1 pound or 1.5 pounds. And it usually gives you some options in there and select it that way. So I have had a little bit of trouble with the shipping, and I'm sure some of it's just me getting adjusted to the way that they do it. But I thought I'd share that tidbit of information because, you know, when you're listing on eBay and Niknax, you're selecting the weight, but you're also selecting the box dimensions. And in Whatnot, you're not selecting any box dimensions. And the reason being is because they're assuming that you're using the standard 12 by 12 by 12 box, unless you've created your own shipping profile and you select that shipping profile when you create the listing for that item, where you can deem it, you know, max 1 item to the box, you know, that kind of thing, or a larger size box or whatever. I'd say that's kind of the rundown on Whatnot. I'm still having problems with uploading photos more than one at a time, whether I do it from the Seller Hub web browser version on my phone, or I do it from the desktop. If I upload more than one at a time, it just kind of freezes and I have to start the listing creation process all over again. So I have to go on my desktop, open up my files, and just drop them in one at a time and sit and wait for it to load, grab the next photo, and just repeat that for how many ever photos there are. And that takes a very long time. And I know they're working on it, but it has been a little bit frustrating on my end because, you know, that's a whole lot of time. The last sale that I did that I had everything preloaded for, I spent about a day and a half, I'm not kidding you, getting 22 items uploaded. That's just how much time it took. And so, you know, to sit and try to preload all my items and stuff, I mean, that just, right now it's not really feasible. I just don't have that kind of time to spend on it. So, but outside of that issue, I greatly enjoy selling on Whatnot. I really, really do. I really like it a lot. I love the platform. I think that once this photo issue is fixed, I will be just happy as can be because I really enjoy it. I love getting to interact with you guys like live and in real time. I think that's really cool. I like being able to live stream it over onto like YouTube and stuff. I think that's awesome. So then even if you're not able to get onto Whatnot to catch the sale, you can still catch it on YouTube. I just think that's really cool. So I've really, really been enjoying it. If you guys haven't gone and checked out Whatnot yet, there's some links in the description of the video. Definitely go check it out.